Guys, so in this session I'll explain you how to configure the contract in ACI. So contract is basically it's a access list which you apply between the EPGs so that they can communicate with each other. You also allow some port numbers, and on that basis the traffic will get permitted or denied if you apply the contract between the different EPGs. So I'll show you how to create a contract in GUI, and then later on we will try to configure this through the Terraform script. So I'll open the GUI. So here this is our existing ABC tenant, and under this ABC tenant we configured three EPGs. We configured the bridge domain, we also configured the VRF. So these things we have done in our previous session, and now I'll explain you how to configure the contract. So here you can see this is the contract tab. So once you'll click on this, you will get this option: standard contract, taboos, imported, and filters. Firstly, I'll click on the standard contract. So this is the standard contract, and so here there is no any contract is configured under this tenant. So I will try to explain you how we can create the contract through the GUI. So I'll click on this standard, and then I'll click on create contract. So the first step is to create a contract. So you need to provide here the name to this contract and the scope. So scope is VRF, it's a default. If you want to change this to tenant global, you can do this. Okay, so I'll open the Terraform registry, and there I'll type a contract. So I'll type contract. I'm getting this much of results. So first one is this one. First resource is this one, AC underscore contract. So if I'll click here, I'm getting this example usage to create a contract. So I'll use this script, and I will add this in our main file. So this is the script to create the contract, and this is the resource name AC underscore contract, and this is the name we need to give this to resource. So I'm giving example, and now it is the second statement is about you need to provide the name of the tenant in which you are going to create this standard contract. So AC underscore tenant, it's a name of the resource we used to create the new tenant. So I'll show you. So here you can see this is our first resource, AC underscore tenant. So we are going to create a new contract in this AC underscore tenant. So this is the resource, and we are going to create a contract under the ABC tenant. So I'm using this name. I'll put this name under the script AC underscore tenant, and the name of this AC underscore tenant is used example name for this resource. So this is my command to create the contract and this existing tenant. Now rest of the things I'm keeping this as it is, and the name of this contract is demo underscore contract, and scope is tenant. So this is the script to configure the contract, and now the next thing is to create the subject. So if I'll click here on this plus sign, then I'll need to give the name to the subject, and then I can give the alias name, description. These things are required to create the subject. So let me search how we can create the subject. So I'll check for the subject. So here you can see contract subject. So if I'll click, I'm getting this script to create this contract subject. So here this is the resource name, and this is the contract name, and this is the script to create the subject in the contract. So here you can see there are few subjects are associated in this script. So I'll show you only one subject. I will not use a multiple subject here. So I'll copy this script, we'll use in our main file. So this is my script to configure the contract subject. So this is the resource name, and I'll change this name to this resources example. Now the next thing is contact underscore DN. So you need to provide the relation that you are creating this subject under this existing contract. So I'll need to give this resource name ACI underscore contract. So here ACI underscore contract name is there dot example dot ID. So example is the name of this resource. So I'll use this syntax. Now the next thing is the description, name to the subject, demo subject, and the rest of the things I'm keeping this as it is. Now I'll open the Epic GUI and and the subject. The next thing is to configure the filters. So if I'll click on this plus sign button, I'm getting some options to create the filters. So I'll try to configure the filters in this script. So I'll open the registry and we'll check how to create the filter. So I'm getting this script AC underscore filter. This script will create you a new filter. So I'll copy this script and will add in this our main file. So this is the resource name AC underscore filter, and I'll change this name to example. Now the next thing is to have the relation of this filter within the tenant. So our tenant name is ABC and the resource name for this tenant is AC underscore tenant, and this dev underscore tenant name we need to change. So this will be example, and now the rest of the things I'm keeping this as it is. So far what we have configured contract, subject and filters. So once you will configure like filters, subject and contract, it will get created. So now let me run this script. So I'll save this file and will run this. Now it is accepting. So here you can see you are creating a new contract, you're configuring filter, and in the filter you need to create filter entry. So we have not added any filter entry in our script, so we'll need to use this filter entry. So here if you create a new filter, then it will show you in this filter list. If you create a new filter, then you need to provide the name alias description. So we are adding the name description to this filter, and the next thing is the entries. So you'll need to click on this plus sign button to provide the source and the destination range and the IP protocol which you are using. So you can configure this one. So firstly means we'll push this configuration to the epic, and then later on we'll try to add the entries under the existing filter. So let me push this configuration. So Terraform apply. Now it is pushing the configuration. So I'll approve this and accept. We'll put the value yes. Now it will push the configuration. So here you can see it is creating filter, contract, contract subject. So now you can see all the three resources got added. So now let me verify this in Epic. So I'll refresh this page. Now you can see this demo contract got configured under this standard, and filter is this one, demo underscore filter we have configured. If I'll click here, you can see in the policies. So this is the name of the contract and the scope of this is tenant. So you can change it, and we mapped the subject to this contract. So here you can see demo subject got mapped, and now the next thing is the filters. So if I'll click on this filter, you can see demo underscore filter, this filter got created. So now I will open this script. So far we have configured and verified. New contract got created. We also have seen that this subject got created and the filter got created, but we have not configured the entries. So if I'll click on this plus sign button, then I'll need to provide some inputs here. Now I'll open registry, and here I'll click on this ACI filter entry. So I'll need to use this script to configure the filter entry. So I'll use this script we'll add it in our main file. So here the name of this resource is ACI filter entry, and I'll need to change this name. So I'll give the same name, example. Now you'll need to provide the relation. So this is the command filter underscore dn underscore ACI filter dot example dot id. So this is the correct syntax, and we will keep all these things as it is. So I'll save this, and will once again will run this script. So I'll directly type terraform apply and will push this change. So now you will see in the epic GUI that new entries will get created under this filter. So this is our demo underscore filter. This is our existing filter, but in the entries there is nothing is configured. So we are pushing the configuration. So it is getting created. So we'll need to wait for some time. So it is pushing the configuration. So once it is pushed, we will see the new filter entries will be there. We'll need to provide and approve this change, typing yes. So I'll enter value yes, and now it is creating a filter entry. Here you can see, and this got created, and you can also see the time taken is 5 seconds to create this filter entry. So now let me verify this thing under the epic. So I'll refresh this page, and also I'll refresh this one. Here you can see, so these are the inputs we put in this script. So we selected ether type is IPv4, we selected protocol TCP. It will show you this in the output. IP protocol is TCP, ether type is IPv4, and other things are unspecified. So if you want, you can put the source port range, destination port range, then it will get mapped to those entries. So now we created filter entries. I think we have not associated this filter to this subject. So now I'll open Terraform registry, and I'll need to open ACI contract subject filter. So this is the script. We'll need to associate this filter to the contract subject. So I'll use the same script, and this is my resource name ACI contract subject filter, and this is the example name given to this resource, and the contract subject underscore dn. So ACI underscore contract subject is the name. So ACI underscore contract subject, this is the name of this resource, and the name is example. So in this statement the syntax is correct, and the name we are using for the resource is correct. So we do not need to change this thing. Also we'll need to provide the relation between this filter. So filters underscore dn is equal to, we'll need to provide the resource name. So this is the resource name AC underscore filter. So we'll need to put this AC underscore filter dot example. This is the resource name. So this is the syntax, and the rest of the things I'm keeping this as it is. So once I'll save this and I'll push this configuration, then you will be able to see that this filter get mapped to this contract subject. So now I'll push this configuration. Firstly, I'll type Terraform plan to verify the configuration. So now it is accepting our script. So it means there is no issue with our script. So these are the steps we are performing here. So we are creating contact subject filter. So I'll push this configuration. So I'll type Terraform apply. Now it is accepting and pushing the configuration to the epic, but we'll need to approve this change. So I'll type yes, and then it will push the configuration. So I'll open epic GUI, and I'll open this contract. This is our contract. If I'll click here, I'll get this contract, and name to this subject is demo underscore subject alias name, and here now you can see the filter got associated. We provided the relationship between this tenant and the contract subject and the filter. So now standard contract got created, and in which you have configured contract name, you configured the contract name, contract subject, also you have created filter and the filter entry, and then you have associated this filter to the existing subject. So in this way, you can configure the standard contract through this script.